often have these questions in my mind. It's like, okay, what is the reality of then the humanity of Jesus? Was he, um, so if you would have encountered Jesus at a younger age, for example, would he make mistakes? Would he, do the things that we do? Or was he without sin from the very start? Like, what is it? What would
Well,
it
this
look like as far as you
this is where I would be a heretic, Lucas.
do it?
Yeah? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Jesus radicalized our understanding of the word sin. Before Jesus, sin was an impurity that needed to be atoned for, washed off, etc., before you could engage with God again in the temple or what have you. So sin is very much sin could be touching a corpse. It's the difference between haram and halal in Islam. It's the difference between kosher and impurity in Judaism. And we are post Jesus. So what Jesus did, he sort of, when you read the Sermon of the Mount, which is a collection that the Gospel of Matthew gives us, one of the weird things of it is that it's impossible what's written there. It says, "Be perfect like your Father in heaven." No human being can be perfect like your Father in heaven. It's impossible. So the teaching of Jesus somehow says all of us, and now I'm very much a Protestant Calvinist, all of us are sinners, and all of us are called to be holy as our Father in heaven is holy. And there is no way that we can make a difference between someone who has actually divorced his wife and someone who has only had a fight with her. So there's no way of looking down. It doesn't mean that the Bible or the New Testament says now you can divorce, and Jesus wasn't particularly fond of divorce. But it means that there is no way to look down on each other. And I think that after Jesus, we understand that sin is also recognizing the ease with which we are tempted. So, for instance, Jesus says, if you just look at a woman with desire in your heart, how different are you from someone who has uh, actually committed adultery? And so, post Jesus, just the impulse is something that could create distance between you and God.
Yeah.
And we acknowledge that now as sin, but I think it's Jesus who takes on all the sins of all the people and becomes as sinful as we are because he redefines sin.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Wow, I never
I,
thought about it like that. Go ahead.
I was also thinking, well, I have a couple things that came to mind. The last one relates to what you just said, which is this discussion recently between conversation between Jonathan Peugeot and John Vervaeke and Paul van der Klei about AI and the large language models. And then at some point, John Vervaeke was like, well, we shouldn't use them. And I mean, I think there's something to be
You're a
said for that.
fundamentalist.
Yeah, exactly. And then Paul's like, "Yo, you're kind of a fundamentalist," which is kind of interesting. But then Pajot said, and it's I think like it reminds me a little bit of what you just said. It's like, well, it's just that I don't want people to think like it's not that that the LLMs aren't demonic. It's just that I don't want people to think that they're not engaging in all these demonic activities all the time already, and that they would be when they would start doing that, you know. And I think that's kind of what it seems like you're getting at. Like, oh, you don't want to violate the law, so you want to stay pure and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tell yourself that you
As
never,
if.
etc. So that was one thing that came to mind. And the other thing that came to mind was actually, sorry if you just shared it, but I thought, yeah, I was reminded of Jesus saying at some point, no one can be a prophet in his own country. And they also
Mm.
they contextualize that in the Chosen series, where it's like where he's not really being taken seriously in his home sorry in his hometown, I should say, because they're
Yeah,
like, yeah, because you all know me, and
yeah,
you made fun of me, and like, so obviously for you guys, I'm just this guy who's now trying to be like, well, I'm the Messiah, and all of you can't take that seriously because you've played games with me, etc. So to your question, Lucas, I also imagine that he at this younger age, like that all the people who knew him then were like, what? That guy, the Messiah?
yeah.
Like, pff,
Wow,
who does
Yeah,
he think he is, you know?
that's so
Like
interesting.
just in
yeah. I mean,
Thanks for that
not
insight.
least of which his parents, right? Like the story of him like wandering off when he was 12, right?
Yeah.
And his mom can't find him, and she's like you can just imagine her being like, "Come here, Jesus! Like, what are you doing in the temple? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
studying with the with the rabbis? Like, silly boy." Um, yeah, it's
Yeah, I see. You're right.
it's interesting.